What's up guys? So in this video, I'm gonna break down for you how you can buy your dream car within the next 2 years, and especially for young people. Even if you're only 18 years old, I believe with the right knowledge and with the right work ethic, you can and will buy your dream car before you turn 20. The reason I'm making this video is when I was 19 years old, I would be driving in the streets of Pittsburgh, and if I ever saw like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, I would think it's the craziest thing ever. I always thought it was completely unattainable, and I would just follow those people around, try to figure out where they live. And I was always just thinking, what does this person do? I wish they would teach me how I could get one of those cars one day myself. Well, 5 years later, here I am. I'm 25 years old. I have this Ferrari with Tiffany interior. I have a matching Maybach van with Tiffany interior. I've also had a Rolls Royce, a Lamborghini, G-Wagons, Range Rovers, Mercedes, and it's only been 5 years since 5 years ago I was a broke 19-year-old living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I know exactly how you can earn enough money to buy your dream cars. I've done it for many years in a row now, and not only have I done it, I've taught my friend Brian how to do it. I've taught dozens of people on our sales team how to do it. There's people on our team with Lamborghinis, McLarens, Rolls Royces, Ferraris. So it's not just me. The knowledge I know, when taught to others, if they have the work ethic I had, they're getting the same results. And you guys too can get the same exact results. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the play step by step, how you can achieve those things. But people always wonder, how do I get that car? Or how do I do this? How do I make money? It starts with who. Usually the people asking, how can I? The issue is you can't do it. So the first thing you need to change before figuring out how to do it is you need to become the person who can do it. And that starts with your habits, the way you treat people, the way you talk, the way you think. So my first tip is, number one, if you don't have a relationship with God and you don't know Jesus, get into church, read your Bible, say your prayers, and make that a non-negotiable every single day. Every single day when I wake up, and it's been this way for 5 years, the first thing I do is I read the Bible, specifically starting with the book of Proverbs. The book of Proverbs is written by King Solomon, who is a successful man back in the day, and it's his advice to his children on how to live a happy, successful, abundant life. So isn't that nice that in the Bible, the only book of truth in the entire world, there's a literal book explaining how to become successful and happy and abundance. And as you read Proverbs, it teaches you things like jealousy is bad. So if you're a jealous person, you need to cut jealousy out of your life. It teaches you that anger is bad. So if you're short-tempered, you need to cut anger out of your life. It teaches you that women can crush your potential. If you're out here cheating on your wife, cheating on your girlfriend, chasing short-term pleasure, that is bad for you. You need to cut that out too. It also teaches you that eating too much food and becoming fat is bad for you. It teaches you that drinking too much and getting drunk is bad for you. So all of these things that I do in my life that you might think I just came up with myself, it actually comes from having a relationship with Jesus, reading my Bible, specifically reading Proverbs to learn what can I implement into my life to become successful and live a life of abundance. So I recommend you get close to God, you read your Bible, and you implement what you read in your Bible into your life. That's first and foremost. On top of that, find a good church. VU Church is a great church in Miami, but if you're not in Miami, you can watch it online every single Sunday. Pastor Rich is an amazing pastor. The way he translates the Bible, how to implement it into your life, transformed my life, and I'm super grateful for Pastor Rich. You don't have to be in Miami to watch VU Church. You can tune in on YouTube every single Sunday. So I recommend you do that as well. And then also make prayer a priority. Every single morning, I have a prayer checklist. I use an app called Echo. And in Echo, you can write down prayers and create a checklist. And you can pray the same prayers every single morning for your whole life. What I've learned is when you ask for something, if you believe you'll receive it, you're gonna receive it. But also you have to have the right intentions behind your prayers. I've been praying for a lot of income for a very long time. When I started sales, my number one prayer was, help me be the number one sales agent, help me have the biggest sales team in the company, and help me make millions of dollars, not for selfish reasons. But the second half of that prayer would be, so when I am making the money, people can look up to me and ask me, how'd you do it, Spencer? And I can tell them, I didn't do it. I partnered up with God, and that's how I did it. So I don't pray for things for selfish intent. Like, yes, I want a lot of money, but I also want a way to glorify God. So your prayers have to have the right intentions behind them. Secondly, you need to find a mentor. The best piece of advice really I've ever gotten, and it boils down to this, is don't take advice from someone you wouldn't trade places with. However, take all the advice you can from someone you would trade places with. When I was getting into sales, I had a lot of broke people telling me, you should get a college degree, you shouldn't get into sales, that's too good to be true. Financially, I'm not gonna take their advice. Some of the people telling me that had good relationships, good healthy marriages, so I could take marriage advice from them. Or maybe they had strong bodies and they were in good shape, so I could take physical advice from them. But financial advice, stats are what stats are. If it's a spade, you call it a spade. And these people giving me this advice were not where I wanted to be financially. So when I spoke to people who were where I want to be financially, they would say, sales is a great thing. You don't need a college degree. The best time to bet on yourself and take a risk is when you're young. You don't even have kids. You might as well get into it. I took their advice instead. So for you guys out there looking to make a lot of money, it's very important to understand that people have good advice. You know, your parents could have great advice when it comes to marriage, or they could have great advice when it comes to how to raise a kid. But if the person giving you advice on how to become financially successful is not financially successful, you need to have the discernment enough to not take their advice and seek financial advice from someone else while still loving that person and understanding that just because you don't want to take their financial advice doesn't mean you won't take their advice for anything. It's just finances. In this video, we're talking about finances because that's what you need to buy a nice car. So that's number 2. Number 3 is you have to get into an opportunity with unlimited earning potential. If you're in a 9-to-5 where they give you a salary, you can't make enough money to buy these cars. No matter how bad you want it, you're never gonna be able to buy a Ferrari when you have a 9-to-5 unless you save up for years and years and years and years and years, but no one wants to do that. Young people wanna have a Ferrari in their 20s just like I wanted it. So you need to get into an opportunity where there's no cap on your income potential. And then what you need to do is you need to approach that opportunity with an all-in mindset. Burn the boats, absolutely no plan B. If you come into an opportunity that's 100% commission, no income cap, but you have a plan B, things will get hard at some point. You might come into a week where you make $0, or maybe you're not as good as you thought you would be for your first couple of months. And as soon as you feel that pressure and that toughness and you feel like maybe this isn't for you, if you have a plan B, you're gonna instantly quit and resort to that plan B, which means you'll never be able to buy the car that you want. But if you know I have no plan B, like this is it, so I have to figure it out, when you have that mindset of needing to figure it out, you always find a way. So no plan B when you get into that opportunity. And then also you have to seek out the people within that opportunity that have what you want and ask for their advice on everything. Every little thing. What time do they wake up? What do they do when they wake up? What script are they using to make sales? How are they following up with their sales? What hours are they working? And if you know what they know and you do what they do, you can have what they have. The issue is, it's not always doing what they do. It's usually doing what they did when they were new, because they're in a position now that they've already made the money. So maybe what they're doing now is not what you should be doing. You got to figure out what they did when they got into that opportunity. And that comes by asking the right questions, being curious, dropping your ego and humbling yourself, because sometimes you come into a business and the person who has what you want is 10 years younger than you. So it takes humility and setting your ego to the side to be able to be like, hey, even though I'm older than you, I need help. I need to ask you questions. I need to figure out what you did to get these nice things. And then from there, it comes down to coachability, discipline, and actually just executing on the things that you learn. I run a life insurance sales team. Many people come into this business and they do ask me the right questions. They're asking, what should I say to the client? What hours should I work? What should I do with my time? And I'll tell them the answer. So there's tons of people getting the same answers. Why is it that some people, like my friend Brian, can buy a Lamborghini Aventador cash within 2 years, when other people quit within 3 months and they're on Google blasting bad reviews saying, oh, the leads suck, the mentorship sucks, the training isn't what I thought it was? Well, how can someone with the same leads, the same training, and the same mentorship buy a Lamborghini and you quit within 3 months and act like it wasn't your fault? It comes down to discipline and consistency and you putting in the hard work. You have to realize as a man, everything is 100% your fault, and whatever results you're experiencing right now in your life is exactly what you deserve and exactly what you earned. So you have to approach it with that mindset. And if you do those 3 things, I guarantee you you can buy your dream car within the next 2 years as well. If you're looking for an opportunity where the mentor can teach you how to do it, we can lead you to God, and we can give you the systems and processes with no income cap so you can get the same things I was able to get and teach other people how to get. I run a virtual life insurance sales team. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. We run an interview every Monday at 8 p.m. You click the link in my Instagram bio, or you click the link below in this video. Join the interview, we'll answer your questions, we'll teach you how to get licensed. You can join our team within a couple of weeks. We give you the leads for free. We give you the script to read word for word. You'll have access to me and every other leader on my team that's also changed their life. And we wanna see you change your life too, financially, but not just financially, mentally, physically, and spiritually while you're at it. So if you're interested, click the link in my bio, and we'll see you guys soon.